Hello everyone, welcome to Pushpa's English classes. So we are back again with the MCQ series. Today I'm going to do chapter 10 from the English grade 10 textbook, The First Flight, The Summer at Banaras. So let's get started. The first question is, who was Gautam Buddha? So I'll make sure that while dealing with MCQs, even the text is told to you. You understand the text in its totality. We'll also try to cover many questions as possible when we do a certain part of the text. Okay, so the first question reads as, who was Gautam Buddha? So we know he was not a peasant or a farmer or a trader or a robber. So Gautam Buddha was a prince. So I just like to read few lines from the text so that we have overall understanding, and it also helps us to answer any other question from this part of the text. That is the first paragraph of the text. Gautam Buddha, he began his life as a prince named Siddhartha Gautam in northern India. So at the age of 12, he was sent away for schooling in the Hindu sacred scriptures, and 4 years later, he returned home to marry a princess. So at the age of 16, he got married, right? So let's go to the next question. The next question is, what did Gautam Buddha study? As already discussed in the first MCQ question, he was sent away for schooling at the age of 12 to read Hindu sacred scriptures. So answer is the Hindu sacred scriptures. The third question is, what did Gautam Buddha witness while hunting? So the options given to us are sufferings of the people in various forms, joy of life outside palace, beauty of nature, the pleasure of hunting. So what is the correct answer? If we turn to page number 133 of your textbook, The First Flight, we get that at about the age of 25. Please remember, I repeat, at about the age of 25, the prince, therefore shielded from the sufferings of the world, while out hunting, chanced upon a sick man, then an aged man, then a funeral procession, and finally a monk begging for alms. So he saw the suffering of people in various forms. The answer is A, sufferings of the people in various forms. You might also get a question like this: while out on hunting, what did the prince first of all chance upon, right? So what did he see first? So you have to know the sequence as well. So first, what did he see was a sick man. Okay, so I put the options also in order. So the answer is a sick man. And second, he chanced upon an aged man. Third is a funeral procession. And the fourth is a monk begging for alms. So I request you to remember this in order. It's very easy. You can also term it as SAFM, the shortcut. S, sick man; A, aged; F, funeral; M, monk. So you can say SAFM. That will help us to remember, right? So let's move to the next question. Dash means a state of high spiritual knowledge. What is that? That is definitely enlightenment, right? It cannot be suffering, cannot be a state of high spiritual knowledge. It cannot be procession. Procession is group of people together. Shielded is protected, guarded. So the answer is enlightenment. What was the name of the peepal tree under which Buddha sat? So if it come down to page number 133 in your page, it reads as, Buddha wandered for 7 years. That can also come as a question. How many years did Buddha wander? Okay. And finally sat down under the peepal tree, where he vowed to stay until enlightenment came. So he was there under the tree, and finally after 7 days he felt that he got enlightened, and the tree was named as a Bodhi tree. So Bodhi tree also means tree of wisdom. So the answer is Bodhi tree. So why I'm trying to give you extra information in a particular MCQ is that so that we know much beyond that particular question. Okay, so let's move on to the next question. How many days did it take Buddha to get enlightened? So we know Buddha got enlightened after 7 days, right? So the answer is 7. This kind of questions also requires that we need to remember certain facts and figures given in the text, recalling, right? So at times we are not very sure with the numbers, and we tend to, get influenced with the options and just tick anything we feel like, but we need to know exactly. So it was 7 days. Okay, let's move to the next question. What did Buddha do after getting enlightened? So what did he do after getting enlightened? He returned to his palace? Definitely not. Freed the world from poverty? No. Became powerful? No. Began to teach and preach his learning? Exactly. So the answer is began to teach and preach his learning. If you even read the text which says he began to teach and to share his new understandings. After getting enlightened, he started to teaching and sharing his new understandings. Where did Buddha preach his first sermon? Options given to are at the city of Prayag, at the city of Pataliputra, at the city of Ujjain, at the city of Banaras. So we know for sure that it is city of Banaras because the chapter is sermon at Banaras, right? We need to be very careful with the options. What is Banaras described in the text? I would like you to come to the text, page number 134, and the lines which are very important. The Buddha preached his first sermon at the city of Banaras, most holy of the dipping places on the river Ganges. So it is described as most holy of the dipping places on the river Ganges. So it is answer C. Most holy of the dipping places on the river Ganges. I'm repeating many a time so that it gets imprinted and you remember it in your exams as well. What does the sermon preached by Buddha reflect? So the options given to are his regret being a king? No, not at all. Does he aspire to rule the world? I don't think so. His curiosity about the world? No. His wisdom about inscrutable suffering. So what did he preach in his first sermon? It was about inscrutable sufferings. I read that line for the text. That sermon has been preserved and is given here. It reflects the Buddha's wisdom about one inscrutable kind of suffering. So what is the meaning of inscrutable? Something which cannot be understood. Okay. What was Kisa Gautami's grief? Her only son had died. She had no food to feed her son. Her son deserted her. She wanted no son. This looks a very obvious question from the text. If you read the text, there is no point you not get this question. So, just to remind you again, Kisa Gautami's grief was she had lost her only son. Okay. So, that is the first sermon which Gautam Buddha gave in the city of Banaras. What did Kesa Gautami do in her grief? So options are, she killed her son, she offered her child to the god, she carried her dead child to all her neighbors for medicine, she injured herself physically. So I read it from the text. Kesa Gautami had an only son and he died. In her grief, she carried the dead child to all her neighbors, asking them for medicine, and the people said she went to every house asking for medicine, and people commented on her by saying that she has lost her senses, the boy is dead. So often there's a confusion seen in the students when they're asked what did she ask for when she go for the first time to different houses. For the first time it was medicine, and the second time it is the mustard seed. So please don't get confused. The first time it is medicine and the second time it is mustard seeds. So this answer is she carried her dead child to all neighbors for medicine. What did the men suggest to Kisa Gautami? So we have seen in the previous MCQ that when Kisa Gautami was moving from one house to the other asking for medicine, then she meets a man, okay, and that man tells her that he will not be able to give her any medicine for her child, but he knows the person who can help her in this. So he tells her that she needs to go to a person, the Buddha. So the answer here is to go to Buddha. Why did Kisa Gautami travel from house to house? For the first time, we know it, she traveled from house to house to get medicine for her son. Second time, she travels from house to house to collect mustard seeds. So, answer is to collect mustard seeds. What did Kisa Gautami ask before taking the mustard seeds? Okay, what was the question asked by Kisa Gautami to the people with whom she was asking, okay, mustard seeds? So I read that line from the text, which will help us to find out this answer. The Buddha said that I need a handful of mustard seed, and then the girl in her joy promised to procure it, and then the Buddha added. So Buddha gave a condition. Your son will come back to life. You can get a handful of mustard seeds, but there's a condition. The mustard seed should be taken from a house where no one has lost a child, husband, parent, or a friend. So that was the condition. So Kisa Gautami, before taking mustard seeds, puts a question there to wherever she goes. Whether a family member had ever died in the family or not. So the answer is A, option A. What did the people not wish to be reminded of? When Kisa Gautami, goes from house to house, and the people pity her, and then she talks about mustard seeds, and again she puts them a question. Is there anybody, did you lose anybody in the house? So what is the answer for this question? The debased grief of losing their loved ones. So the people wish her not to remind them of the debased grief of losing their loved ones. How can a person seek peace, right? So the answer is in the last part of the text. It's page number 135 from the textbook. I'm going to read out these important lines and also explain to you. So it says, not from weeping or not from grieving will anyone obtain peace of mind. So we will not obtain peace of mind from weeping or grieving, but on the contrary, the pain will be greater and the body will suffer if you weep and grieve for it. He will make himself sick and pale. So we in the process will make ourselves sick and pale, yet the dead are not saved by this lamentation. Okay. So he who seeks peace should draw out the arrow of lamentation and complaint and grief. So the answer is, by drawing out the arrow of lamentation, complaint and grief, one can seek peace. Very important question. What effect does the weeping or grieving have on us? So the options are, relieves us of the pain, not at all. You weep, you grieve, the pain is more, right? So it makes our pain greater than before. That is the answer. Doesn't make any difference, not at all. It infuriates the God, no. So the answer is, makes our pain greater than before. I read it out, right? If we weep and grieve more, the pain will be greater and the body will suffer. The last part of the text, it's very important. This question is again taken from the last part of the text. Weeping or grieving can lead one to grabbing sympathy of others? No. Inviting trouble? Not exactly from the text point of view. Being firm and determined? No. But falling sick and pale. I just read out, right? He will make himself sick and pale, yet the dead are not saved by this lamentation. We will make ourselves sick and pale with weeping or grieving, adding to our, sufferings. You might also get a question based on vocabulary. So dash means to express sadness about something. It is not pale, right? It's not pain. It's not solitude. It is lamentation, means to express sadness about something. So you need to be very clear with the vocabulary given in the text. Which of the following holds true with reference to the text? So the options which are given to us are, personal losses are part and parcel of life. Instead of dwelling in them, we should move on in life. This message is very much there in the text. We have seen how Kisa Gautami realizes that, every house has someone or somebody who is no longer there with them. So loss is inseparable, or it's part of our lives. We have to accept it and then you have to move on in life. Second is about how life is full of trials and tribulations. Yes, life is full of difficulties, but we have to know how to come out of that lamentation, right? So this is also very much there. So the answer to this question is both A and B. Please don't get confused. If you like this video, please do like, share, comment, and subscribe to my channel. So I have started this MCQ series and I will be continuing this to help you out for the term 1 examination. So stay tuned and do check my channel for more videos. Thank you for watching my videos.